There is a very common trend on the internet right now where everyone loves to label themselves as a Sigma male or a lone wolf. It sounds pretty powerful because it makes you feel like someone who does not need anybody. But today we are going to talk about the thing that nobody usually wants to talk about. Honestly, I am not sure how well you will digest these words because we're about to discuss a mask that you might be wearing without even realizing it. Do you actually stay alone by choice, or are you just looking for an excuse to avoid people? In the internet world, the word Sigma has become a very easy shield or armor right now. Whenever someone gets nervous in social situations or feels disconnected from everyone, they comfort themselves by calling themselves a Sigma. But psychology says there is a completely different truth hiding behind this, and that truth is avoidant personality disorder. Today, I am going to make you face 5 hard truths that might completely shatter this Sigma identity inside you. The first hard truth is about your real motivation behind staying alone. Ask yourself, why do you want to be alone? A normal introvert needs to be alone because hanging out with people drains their energy. They stay alone to get that energy back. On the other hand, a real Sigma or a fully independent person stays alone because they find social interactions incredibly boring. They love being alone because they can completely focus on their work. But for avoidance, the story is completely different. If you are an avoidant, you stay alone because you are scared. You are afraid that other people will judge you or think something negative about you. Because when you feel like everyone is judging you, staying alone is safe. Your isolation is not a recharging process. It is just an escape route. You might be searching for the self-checkout line at a suburban Walmart on a Friday night just so you do not have to say 2 words to the cashier. You are passing off this hidden fear inside you as smartness or a Sigma mentality. The second truth is about your habit of sitting quietly. When you sit in a group and stay completely silent, what do you tell yourself? You probably think you are observing the whole room and trying to read everyone's psychology, like you are the main character of a movie watching everything from a distance. But the absolute truth is you're actually panicking on the inside. You stay quiet, thinking about what will happen if you say something and it sounds stupid. Clinical psychology calls this hypersensitivity to negative evaluation. Your silence is not a powerful tool. Instead, it is a wall you have built around yourself so nobody can find your flaws. Truly independent people stay quiet because they do not feel the need to say anything. But you stay quiet because you cannot find the courage to speak up. And then when you go to sleep at night, you constantly replay the words in your head that you should have said. The third truth connects to a fairly dark psychological framework. Self-determination theory. Having autonomy or the freedom of personal choice is very important for human health. Researchers have seen that when a person is alone, their high arousal emotions shut down. That means your anger, excitement, or extreme anxiety temporarily drops. But being alone will only give you peace when you choose it out of your own free will. If you go into isolation for a specific task on your own, then it is productive. But if you are forced to stay alone because you cannot face social situations, then that steals your autonomy. Your subconscious mind knows very well that you are not alone by choice. You are just shrinking back out of fear. So if you think this is a superpower, no, it is actually not a power. It is just a defense mechanism. This forced isolation ultimately makes you more depressed and alienated. The fourth truth is the massive difference between what you think of yourself and how people actually see you. Recent studies from the University of Virginia show that how others view socially withdrawn people is completely different. You might think you are staying quiet to protect yourself or to mind your own business. You think you are not hurting anyone or bothering anyone. But the people around you, your coworkers or acquaintances, see you as a cold and rude person. They take your distance as arrogance. Research shows that avoidant people view themselves as non-assertive or shy, but others judge them in the exact opposite way. You have built a shelter inside your mind, but from the outside, it looks like a wall of ice. You're pushing people away, and yet you do not even know you're doing it. And the fifth and final truth will completely shatter that fake Sigma identity of yours. People who show signs of avoidant personality disorder often put up a fake character in front of others. When talking to people, you might act like you do not care about anything at all. You try to look very cool and unbothered, but deep down you are desperate for human attention and support. A Sigma male never looks for connection because he has no need for it, but you want connection. You want someone to come and understand you. You just make zero effort to build that connection because you are terrified of rejection. You present a sugar-coated version of yourself to people so they cannot see your real weaknesses. This whole thing is actually an act created by your low self-esteem. So after all this, the question in front of you is very clear now. Is the story you tell yourself about being a Sigma or a lone wolf actually true? Or are you taking cover behind this internet trend to hide your social anxiety and fear of rejection? The days of comforting yourself with lies are over. If you actually like being alone, then you will not have any discomfort in your mind. But if you feel an emptiness while sitting alone, then admit that you are just hiding. Accepting this truth is very hard, because it means your so-called power or coolness is actually a weakness. But until you accept this truth, you will not be able to break out of this cage. Feeling scared is not a crime, but losing to fear and broadcasting it as your strength is self-destruction. If you want to break this pattern of yours, you have to recognize this avoidant behavior first. If you think even one of these words matches your life, then it is time to stand in front of the mirror and ask yourself this question: am I really independent, or am I just avoiding people?